Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Gooden-Schroeder, President and owner of Speech Language Learning Systems located in Chesterfield, Missouri. We are a private practice that has proudly served the families in the St. Louis community for over 23 years. We provide speech language therapy and evaluations, as well as learning skills development, dyslexia therapy, and counseling services. We are currently up and functioning in our telepractice model, a model we've implemented to some degree since 2015. We, like you, are wearing many hats right now, not only as parents, but teacher facilitators, while schools are closed, all the while figuring out our new work from home model. These are unprecedented times in our world, and we at Speech Language Learning Systems stand together in our mission statement that we are committed to the development of the whole child. As such, we felt the need to reach out in a way to provide the families we serve and those in our extended community with information to address strategies that may assist families in creating some sense of calm around these challenging times. So I want to welcome you to our informational video, Creating Calm in Challenging Times, Strategies for Talking with Kids, presented by our own Stacy, Kile, Shelton. Stacy is a licensed speech language pathologist that has been with Speech Language Learning Systems for over a decade. She also graduated with her master's in counseling in May 2019 and is currently practicing as a licensed speech language pathologist and licensed counselor, with special emphasis on anxiety and depression, particularly how it relates to students with speech language learning and social communication needs. We know that communication is critical as we navigate life, and language is the tool that helps us mediate our emotions as well as our executive function skills we need to organize our time, task demands, as well as regulate our emotions. As speech language pathologists, we address this skill development in our intervention with children, and as such, we have special understanding about just how important they are when it comes to helping us meet our day-to-day demands, particularly when we are forced to create a new normal for at least a little while. We are hopeful that Stacy can spend a few moments sharing some ideas and strategies to help you self-regulate some of the anxiousness and distress you and your family may be experiencing right now as a result of the unexpected and unwanted changes caused by COVID-19. So without further ado, I introduce to you Miss Stacy Kile Shelton.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you for that introduction. I am going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can all see my PowerPoint presentation as well. So welcome to our SLS family and any others who might be watching our informational video. We are just hoping to offer some support during this unexpected and challenging time through our informational video about creating calm in challenging times, tips for talking with kids. So I'd like to just start with talking about what a unique time this is for families. Families are spending a lot of time together and are able to be just a real unit of connection, which can just in itself be calming and help with anxiety and help with worrying. And so I encourage a discussion as a family just about what's going on in your home, what's going on globally, and conversations about COVID-19. And just being sensitive to keeping things relatively simple when anxiety is already increased. Too much information, too serious of information, too complex information can just cause an added anxiety. And so simple is actually better here. And just talking about how the family will deal with upcoming changes, talking about what if something does happen, even though you're trying to reduce anxiety, talking about hard things is okay. And it actually can create calm for kids to know that the family has a plan, to know that the family is going to do what they're going to do. And having a family plan that the children understand and help create. Asking children, what do you think might be a good idea? Being part of this plan can boost their confidence and their self-esteem, which can help reduce anxiety and worry about the uncertainties. The bottom line is that what your children need to feel right now is safety, feeling that safety in the context of your family and the context of your home. being sensitive to your child's age and what they're able to understand and handle emotionally about the situation is important to consider too. It's oftentimes a parent's desire, and rightfully so, to protect children from harm and to protect them from hard things. And that's right and fair and good, but it's also important for children to be able to experience realities of life and see that they're able to overcome and their parents can overcome hard things, and that they actually have capacities and capabilities to conquer and overcome things. And so that can be really important during this time as well. So I think something that's important to recognize is that when children are feeling very overwhelmed, if their feeling doesn't match their experience, it can be frustrating and can make them angry and can actually increase their worry. And so being consistent with the language that using with children. And sometimes these people may not realize that some of this language can be dismissive, but it will be fine. Do not worry. We have nothing to worry about. No one we know will get sick. This language can be dismissive and confusing to children and does not necessarily match the climate of what's going on around them. And so using language that's more validating of, wow, yeah, I can tell that you're feeling really worried, or yeah, I can tell that you're feeling scared about this. Let's talk about it. What is your experience with that? Easing worry through validation is different than dismissing it in hopes that it will go away. And so validating is key, which is what we're going to talk about next. So validation is key, asking what your child is feeling about the situation. Children are quite perceptive of what's going on, even very young children. They're quite perceptive and they know that something's different and something's going on, and maybe mom and dad are feeling, maybe they seem more on edge or more anxious. And so asking open-ended questions and allowing your child plenty of time to share, and asking your child what they know or understand about the situation. They've heard so many things from school before they were quarantined, and they've heard things just on the news, things from siblings, things from younger people, older people, maybe things from uninformed people. And so not making assumptions of what they know, but really asking them. So, I was thinking that it might be helpful to provide, an example of how we can validate. I have a book that I just think is really a really helpful book. It's called How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk by Adele Faber and Elaine Maslish. And there's just a really helpful example in here of a father talking with his daughter. And his daughter said, "My turtle is dead. He was alive this morning." "Oh, what a shock," says dad. "Yeah, but he was my friend. To lose a friend can hurt. I taught him to do tricks. You two had fun together. I fed him every day. You really cared about that turtle." And at the end of this, it says parents don't usually give this kind of response because they fear that by giving a name to the feeling, they'll make it worse. But just the opposite is true. The child who hears the words for what she has experienced is deeply comforted. Someone has acknowledged their inner experience. And I think that's what's key here, is that validating the feeling, no matter how over or under exaggerated it may seem, this is what your child's true experience is. And when they feel validated, they're going to feel heard, they're going to feel seen, and they're going to be more willing to share their genuine feeling with you. And it can be helpful too to ask the family if there's something that they can do to help ease your child's mind if they're feeling anxious or stressed. What would help them feel safe? Even before before we were more in quarantine, I had a child come in even around the COVID-19 and said, "It would just be really helpful if you could wash your hands before I came here." And I said, "Okay, I can do that. If that's going to help you feel safe in my presence, I want to be doing things that let you know that your safety is of importance to me." And then recognizing that you or your child may have suffered a significant loss and may need to grieve. Grieving is a very important part of experiencing loss. And some kids have canceled graduation ceremonies, cancellations of a family wedding, cancellations of a family funeral, or just a funeral. These things need grieving over. These losses need grieving over. And so validation is just key. Another thing that can be important is that children are perceptive, and they recognize when a parent's words and emotional affect don't match. So it's really important to be honest, admitting your own feelings, saying it's okay to say, I just don't know, this is out of our control. Using language like this is uncertain, it's unpredictable, and not making promises that you don't know if you're going to be able to make. So you'll for sure get to go back to school on this date, or things will start to go back to normal soon. It creates hope for kids. And while usually hope is really good, and we do want to create hope for children in ways, we don't want to have to go back on that and say, oh, wait, never mind. And so language that can be helpful here is using percentages, if that's something that maybe your child understands. So it's 75% positive that we will be able to make up our Disney vacation in October. Or, it's 50-50 right now that we're going to be able to celebrate your birthday at the end of May with a party at the park. But it's 100% sure that our family we're going to do what's right during this time. We're going to support one another and be there for each other. And just letting your child know that even though there are uncertainties about life and there are things that you just don't know about, that you're still there to support them. So I've put together some practical tips to help create calm. And so hopefully some of these you will find useful. Engaging in familiar activities as you're able. So movie nights, meal times, if Sunday night was your popcorn night, or if Friday nights were your movie and pizza night, continue with those things. Continue with those homebound things that you would normally do. Keep a routine. Routines are stabilizing. Create routines if you're not in one yet. That might be a routine for waking up in the morning and for chores or for your homework. Those can be stabilizing. So having a family calendar and updating it together. I had a friend tease me, like, what are you going to put on a family calendar right now? Which I thought, okay, fair enough, good point. But there are things that you can put on the calendar right now, and color coding that can be helpful. So, things that for sure are going to happen, maybe you put those in green. I know for sure mom is going to leave the house for work on Tuesday, and I know for sure that dad's going to be home, or vice versa. And, we know for sure, or we know partially that possibly that school is going to start on April 30th. So put that in yellow. Just letting kids know what to expect in the home can be very stabilizing too. Of course, engaging with nature, going on walks, having a bonfire, planting flowers or a tree, go fishing in a nearby pond. The ponds around us right now have lots of people fishing in them. So, of course, unplug, turn off the news. There's lots of conflicting messages in the news, and that can create confusion and uncertainties, and that can cause more stress, especially for younger children who aren't really sure how to understand all the things that they're hearing. So unplugging can be helpful. Allowing your children to connect with their friends through Skype or FaceTime, texting, social media, whatever, platform or forum that works for your family. This is particularly true for adolescents. This is just a developmental time where adolescents find self-regulation through their peers. They start to kind of wean from their parents and lean on their peers. So giving them a time to connect and do that. And of course, with privacy, giving children privacy, allowing them to decompress alone in their room or away from the family. We're spending a lot of time with our families right now, which in itself is a wonderful thing, but recognizing that kids need privacy as well. So allow creativity. Let your kids make a fort or set up a tent in the living room. Bake new treats, make art with unexpected materials. Let them rearrange their bedroom if they want to. Let them just be creative in this kind of more strict time of our space. Allow children to reach out to neighbors to see if they need help with anything. Of course, being sensitive to health guidelines, but being part of something greater gives kids hope. It gives them the feeling of empowerment, and that can be stabilizing and, help with anxiety. Give children choices during this time to feel a sense of self-advocacy. This is really important. It's a time right now where we're all kind of out of control and we don't have a lot of control over, where we're going and what we're doing. And so giving kids choices, even, hey, what do you want for dinner? What time do you want to wake up tomorrow? When do you want to do your homework? Those things can give kids a sense of advocacy. And then have family check-ins, sessions or meetings, get a feel for the temperature of the family. Are there adjustments that need to be made to make this unique time work for everyone and not cause more stress? The children really appreciate knowing that their family is there and is willing to meet the needs of the family. So parents, of course, we have not forgot about you. We've been spending a lot of time talking about children and what children need, but self-care for parents. Stressed parents are not optimal learners, not optimal teachers. Just as stressed children are not optimal learners. And there's a strong link between our mental and physical health. And it's important for parents during this time to transition out of that reptilian or that reactive brain to help engage areas of the brain that are helpful for problem solving and for organization, both for themselves, for yourselves, and for your children. And so, not forgetting about your own needs. This is really important. And it can be as simple as deep breathing, as deep as you can. Breathing slows down your heart rate. It reduces or releases endorphins in your brain, which is the brain's natural way of self-calming. Doing meditation or mindfulness activities. There's lots of apps online that can help you with this. Engage with nature. Again, it's healing. Nature is very healing. Move, get up and move. I'm noticing even just with this transition to more teletherapy that, I'm very sedentary. I'm not moving as much. And so movement is helpful. And of course, as we're thinking about helping kids find connection with their peers, connecting with your own support system. How, does that mean you're a virtual book club? Does that mean a virtual coffee date? What does it mean? Those things are filling. They fill our cups. They help us be able to re-engage with our families and do the things that we need to do. And then finally here, end conversations on a positive note. Brainstorm something fun that you can do as a family together during the difficult times. Suggest new experiences your family has never done together. I had a parent tell me that they, as a family, were going to tour a museum in New York City virtually together. I thought, that's just so cool. I've not thought of doing that. Ask your child what they might want to do or what they might want to try. Kids are so unbelievably creative. My niece made tie-dyed bibs for my to-be baby, so for her cousin. It was just such a cool, creative thing for her. And then the important thing is to leave the conversation with the child knowing that you as a parent are present and are there and going to do what needs to be done to help your family get through this challenging time. So here is us ending on a positive note. You can create calm in challenging times. You can support your children through uncertainties, and you can overcome hard things. And we are here to help you. So you have people in the community that are rooting for you, and we're happy to set up individual telesessions to help you and your child feel even more supported. So if needed, we have telesessions going in the areas of counseling services, dyslexia intervention, learning skills development for any distant learning demands that people are having, and of course, speech and language services. So here's just our contact information. Our website is speechlanguagelearningsystems.com. Our phone number is 636-537-1576. Please visit our website for more short videos to come, informational videos. Some things that you can be looking forward to are tips for family schedules, school learning routines, and fun family activities to enrich learning and create connection. So we are certainly very hopeful. We wish you all good health. We wish you moments of calm and peace, and hope you have a blessed day.